You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, about to make a name for myself today. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I know many of you guys have been waiting for this day, have been waiting for the time, have been waiting for this awesomeness. Nintendo has revealed that Xenoblade Chronicles X is finally, and I said finally, coming back to a current Nintendo system with the Nintendo Switch. We've got the confirmation, something that I've been talking about for 4 years now. The OJ who cried wolf, the dude that kept on saying that it could happen from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Almost all hope maybe was lost after the last Nintendo Direct. We saw nothing, but randomly on a Tuesday, October 29th in the morning, Nintendo just says, here you go, here you go. You got yourself the one, the only Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Very much like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, this one is going to have new story elements and content, probably wrapping up that story. If you watch my videos, this is something that I stated that they're probably going to do. If they're going to do this, it is going to be something that they're going to wrap up that story, because there are new story elements, very much like what they needed to do with Xenoblade Chronicles, or at least more like what they felt like doing with Xenoblade Chronicles. So we're going to get into everything here. We're going to get into why this is awesome. We're going to get into the game. You guys are going to see everything here. This is just awesome overall. And yes, Xenoblade Chronicles X does, in my opinion, this is going to be something maybe controversial, probably not for me. Now, it completes it. There is no question that the Nintendo Switch is the greatest system of all time for me personally. Not just the best Nintendo system, but the greatest system, because you will be able to play every single Xenoblade Chronicles game on the system. These are some of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion, and now you have one of the greatest open world games of all time. Let's get into what Nintendo had to say. So publisher Nintendo and developer Monolith Soft have announced Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. It will launch on March 20th, 2025, worldwide for $59.99. It is a remastered version of the 2015 released Wii U game with enhanced visuals, additional story elements, and more. So Nintendo does state, yes, originally from the Wii U, I bought it back then, loved it, played it, beat it multiple times, it's awesome. But once again, with those enhanced elements, visuals you can already see when it comes down to it. Even this shot with Elma here, you can already see the visuals are enhanced. So this is definitely good. Now let's talk about the game itself though. The year is 2054. Humans have fled Earth amid a destructive intergalactic war. As one of the survivors and a member of the new Los Angeles NLA colony, it's your mission to help build a new home on the sprawling hostile planet of Mira. Explore this seamless open world across 5 otherworldly continents teeming with unknown creatures, some of which are epic in scale, and fight for the future of humanity. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition features your character at the center of the action and a standalone sci-fi story. So standalone sci-fi story, guys, they are not trying to tie it back to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, 3, or any of the other expansions. Keep that in mind, which I've been saying, and many other core Xenoblade fans have been saying. This is not necessarily connected directly to the other Xenoblade Chronicles games, and they're saying that right here. This is a standalone thing overall. So customize your avatar's looks and class to your liking and choose from a wide variety of options in a comprehensive battle system that's as deep as you want it to be. Once you have proven yourself to the Blade organization, you can also unlock a powerful Skell, your giant customizable mechs that's proficient in exploration and combat to assist you in your adventure across Mira. While you go about the reconstruction effort, you'll get to know the people of NLA, help them with their problems, and build affinity with your party members to unlock guests that contain rare gear and other rewards to earn. Plus, join an online squad. Oh, here we go. The online is back. And take on multiplayer specific missions, including extra challenging global nemesis battles. You can even recruit the avatars of your other players to your team in the main story. there's even more to discover in this definitive version of the game. Just who is the mysterious hooded figure on the beach? You'll have to stay tuned to learn more. Now, according to the note on the Japanese official website, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is based on the Western version of Xenoblade Chronicles X. So keep that in mind, guys. There are a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it doesn't matter. We're talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X, the game itself. You guys see the announced show, you'll be seeing it over and over, and I am very, very excited that they finally got this going on the Nintendo Switch. So there's a couple different things that I want to note here with this, with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. It's one, it completes everything. Now, all of the Xenoblade games, not Xeno Saga or not all the other Xeno games, but all of the Xenoblade games are now on the Nintendo Switch. It is complete. It is feature complete. Everything is there. So to me, this truly, I already felt that the Nintendo Switch was the best system of all time for myself and for Nintendo. Overall, just like what games that I like to play. Now I can say definitively 100% like it is it. It is it, because now you complete one of the best, I would just say, sagas of games, one of the best rash of games from 2010 to 2025, right? So we're talking about 15 years. They've got these 5 games, all the DLC expansions, and now they're going to actually complete it. Because for those who didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X, or if you didn't beat the game, there is a cliffhanger ending. And when they say all new story elements, it's going to be very much like the definitive edition with Xenoblade Chronicles, where they added in that extra part. This is something that, once again, that I did state that they're probably going to do, add in some type of expansion. Some people were saying, oh, maybe they'll do a whole sequel. I'm like, I don't know about a whole sequel, but I do see them taking this game and remastering it. Some were even telling me that, oh, well, the Switch isn't powerful enough to have a remastered version of this game, that they need to wait for Switch 2, and maybe that's the case, but I felt that no, Switch is definitely powerful enough. If you look at the RAM allocation, if you look at what it can do compared to the Wii U, you look at the specs, the Switch outclasses it in every single type of way. So you can still get a remastered version of this game with the Wii U. You can get it on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's probably not going to be running at 4K 120 frames per second. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll probably keep it 30 frames per second, and the graphical upgrades are not going to be as crazy from what I'm seeing here, but I think there'll still be an improvement, and the game already ran and looked really good on the Wii U, so it's not like it had many problems on the Wii U. Now, it was just a technical marvel on that system, just because there were these data packs and other things that you had to download in order for the loading to be better, like the texture loading and the textures to look better and stuff. But I'm pretty sure now with the Nintendo Switch, you don't have to worry about that with the RAM that it has and what it can do as a system. So I'm guessing that's not going to be a thing. This is going to be physical and this is going to be digital. It's cool that it's $60. I mean, not that I felt like that was going to be $70 or anything, but I think that this game is worth every single penny overall if you look at it, and I think it's going to do incredibly well on the Nintendo Switch. It's coming out March 20th, so I think that things are going to be very interesting, because by then we will absolutely know what the Nintendo Switch 2 is and probably when it's launching. I'm pretty sure Nintendo will already have revealed it and everything, so that makes it a little bit interesting when it comes to when they decide to launch the Nintendo Switch 2. They still have big games coming up for Nintendo Switch 1, but I also think that this 1000% confirms backwards compatibility. There's no way that Nintendo's going to be launching Switch 1 games in like March of next year when their next system is going to be coming up, and you won't be able to play those games on your new system as well. So this 100% confirms it to me. Otherwise, this would have been held and put on the next system, but they decided to put it on here. So we know that this system's going to have backwards compatibility with Nintendo Switch 2, but I'm just super excited to see the end elements. Then I'm not going to spoil the story for anybody or anything like that, but this is a very good thing that they did this. This is so good, because the reason why is because the game just really ends on something that you don't want it to end on, and it's got a very good story. It was criticized for the story back then, back in the day in reviews and stuff, and people did say, oh, we want our protagonist back like Shulk and all of that, and they went with that with the rest of the series. But I do feel that this one could actually speak to so many different people. It's a different type of game, a different type of Xenoblade game. It's got some of the things that you would see in a regular Xenoblade game, but there are so many differences overall, especially with your own player avatar character that's like more like a mute. He doesn't talk at all or anything. So very much like some of the old school Super Nintendo RPGs, some of those games that you would see, even like Dragon Quest, for example, something like that would be probably more appropriate in today's day. Something like Dragon Quest, for example. So I think that for some people that might be good, some people that might be bad. But overall, I do think the story and the twists and turns, and I would say that the mechs, the scale of the game and the mechs is unlike anything else. Even if you've played a Xenoblade and don't like those Xenoblades, I mean, maybe you might not like the game because of the combat, but I would say that the story flow and the mechs and the open world is completely different from other Xenoblade Chronicles games. Not even close when it comes to Xenoblade 1 or Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 3 a little bit because that one does have a true big open seamless world, but I would say that Xenoblade Chronicles X has a massive seamless open world. It's like way bigger overall, and because it has the mechs, it can make it to where maybe you enjoy going through it. Plus, there's the online multiplayer component, which none of the other Xenoblade games have multiplayer at all. This one has co-op multiplayer up to 4 players, and you can even use people's avatars in your own game. It's kind of weird how they implemented it on the Wii U, so I'm hoping that they made some adjustments and implemented it a little bit better on the Nintendo Switch, but it comes at a very good time, as the Nintendo Switch can actually do a few things better than what the Wii U could do with online, especially like with the online play invites and some of the different stuff with the dashboard and all that. It's way faster than what we saw with the Wii U, and the Wii U just was limited in terms of what it could do when it comes to accepting invites and other things like that. So I'm very, very excited to see how that online is handled. I never really went through all those different missions just because it was a hassle back on the Wii U days. I just didn't feel like doing it, and I didn't have enough people to even do that with. I didn't have a real community to play the game with. Now I actually have one, so I think there'll be plenty of people to actually play with compared to the Wii U when nobody really had that system at times. I mean, I had people in my community, but it was just a completely different thing back in 2015 compared to now in 2024 and now 2025. So 10 years later from the original launch. So I think that this is a great thing here. It's like the 10-year anniversary. We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary in Japan. The release date was April 2015. In the US, it was December or so. I know it was later that year in 2015. So a 10-year anniversary treat for all of us Xenoblade fans. This completes it to me. This is one of the best RPGs of all time, and this is something that I felt that could happen for a long time at this point, and it's finally here. So one more thing that I want to get into with this, guys, with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, it seems like Monolith Soft will be on the case with this one. They are doing it just like they did with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So I'm hoping that we actually see a little bit of a better result overall. There was some mixed results with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition when it comes to the visuals and everything. They did redo some of the hands and the faces, but some of the open world elements or some of the open area elements definitely left some to be desired. So I'm hoping that they actually enhanced this a bit better and they learned from there. I'm thinking that maybe since this was already an HD game and you're just taking it over to another HD system and you're going from there, the base work that you have is going to be better for you to work with. But from what I've seen so far, I mean, it looks smooth overall. Looks like it's going to run really good, and it does. They added some extra elements overall. Like, it looks better. I see my girl Elma here and she looks awesome. So very, 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 very excited about this, and I think that it's going to be really good. Also, it shows to me that Monolith Soft, the whole time they probably wanted to get this done, and like I was saying in some of my previous videos, they had to finish what they did before. They had to finish the Chronicles trilogy. They had to finish Xenoblade 1, 2, 3. They had to get all of those out on the Nintendo Switch and done, plus Future Redeemed. Future Connected, Future Redeemed, Torn of the Golden Country. They had to get all of that stuff done, and then they had extra time to work on this. And we don't know when this was done or when they decided to start doing all this. Remember, Monolith Soft has multiple different teams, so it could have been done in the background like I was stating, and they were just waiting when was a good time to release it. I doubt they're still working on this all the way up until release. I think this game is pretty much already finished and Nintendo was holding on to it for something, but I'm guessing, if I had to take a guess, this is not something that I can say for sure. I'm guessing they started working on this in 2022 or so, after Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Future Redeemed was done, and then they just held on to it at this point all the way till next year so they can have some games, because now we have 2 confirmed first-party games, remasters, but 2 confirmed first-party games on the Nintendo Switch in January with Donkey Kong, and now in March with this game. And I'm guessing we're going to get some more games as well when it comes to third-party stuff. We heard some rumors with courting third-party developers with the remasters. We still have Pokemon Legends in addition to Metroid Prime 4. So there's a lot going on right now, guys, but I'm very, very, very excited for this to happen. And yeah, screenshots look good, game looks good. Can't wait to check it out myself. As we get closer to the actual launch date for this game, you know I'm going to have full coverage of it. I'm going to be playing it. We're going to be having a ton of fun overall. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is here finally. We've been waiting so long for this, and it's happening, or it happened, or it's going to happen, and Nintendo's confirmed it, so it's very good to see this. Yeah, people were talking about there would be a Nintendo Switch 2 reveal today. Well, you know what? This is almost as good. No, I know it's not almost as good for most people, but no, I'm just joking with that. But this is an awesome reveal, though. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. This is an awesome reveal overall, so very excited with this, guys. So what are your thoughts overall with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? Are you planning on playing the game? Are you planning on checking it out? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch and RPG videos right here on screen. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.